Let's fight. Bartica, Bartica, Bartica. Region 7. Let's fight, folks. Good to have all of you guys joining us in the ring. My Lord, I'm so at peace with myself. Some of y'all are gonna fight tonight. Unplug on y'all. Let's fight, folks. Good to have you guys. Twitter. Good to have you folks in the house. Facebook. Good to have you guys in the house. Hello, Bartica. Good night, Bartica. Region 7. Good night to you guys. Good night to YouTube. My tubers. Not my tumor, my tumor. Not tumor. Tumor. Not my tumor. My tubers. YouTubers. Good to have you guys. Hope you guys had a good day. Good to be here with you. Some of you still on the job, putting in the work, giving the man the pound of flesh. Some of you at home. Guys, I'm so happy to be with you. So happy with you. I came on a couple minutes early. There are some nights we come on like a fraction of a second late. I pay him back. I pay him back. I came on a little early tonight. The early bird, guys. The early bird gets the worm. So we get a couple of worms tonight, folks. We get a couple of worms. Starvation, too. The worms turning up. Good to have you folks. How has it been? I ain't see y'all in a long time, boy. It's a couple hours well. So long I ain't see y'all. Oh, Father. Aye. This country, never a dull moment. Never a dull moment with the PPP. It's confusion powder. Confusion powder. Confusion powder, boys. So long I ain't see some of y'all. Hours. I missed you guys, What has this been? It's been about 5 hours. I miss you guys. I wore back my same tie from last night. It's me money bike, main concern. You understand? If you want to see me some different ties, y'all do what I gotta do. There's a very, very short scope of ties that I can wear because of the green screen and everything else behind the camera. Sometimes it reflects, it doesn't pick up the way we want it to. And you might see some of the video showing on my tie and all kinds of things. So there's a limited amount of tie, but it's my tie. And once it's clean and fresh, I got to go. Guys, we hope you guys are going to share this live stream. Some of you getting complacent, Getting complacent. Don't get like them people in Bartica. Don't get like them. And some other people. You're getting complacent. Share the live stream, folks. We invite you guys to share the live stream. I am ready with the hot topics. We're watching the numbers and showing that a lot of you are on when we go through this, because some of y'all want to don't come away talk about tonight. Watch back the video, man. Shucks. You had to come on time or you gotta look back the video. Don't call me to talk back the show. A colleague of mine said to me this afternoon, she said somebody this be she got a neighbor when they miss the show, she talk back everything that happened. Guys, we're on YouTube, it is stored there, it is stored to the Facebook servers, it is stored to the Twitter servers. We're all over the place. You can watch back and you can pick up. So we give you guys back a couple of minutes this evening. I think we're now officially over 8 o'clock. All of my screens selling at different time. I got about 6 screens right now behind the scenes. So when you guys see I'm looking left and right, I got so many screens opening up here to see what's happening and to make sure that we give you a very, very quality production, guys. Good to have you guys with us this evening. Guys, I bring my popcorn and my cokes tonight because we're going back to Bartica. Some of you up on Bartica. And I hope you're all old enough to understand that phrase. When I was growing up, that was the it slang, You understand? That was the it thing. When I tell somebody you're on Bartica, you're sailing. You're on Bartica. Right? So guys, we're going back to Bartica this evening. Folks in Bartica, a very good evening to each and every one of you. Give us a retweet, a share. On Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, folks, and let's get things. I brought my popcorn and my cokes this evening. I brought it and to show y'all because of the Bartica Bacchanal in Bartica. I bring my popcorn and my cokes tonight. Watch this, folks. Ta-da! I bring my popcorn and my cokes because it's picture time, it's movie time, it's session. That's what we say in Guyana. It's session. And we know that wherever our Guyanese folks live around the world, y'all speak colloquially. I speak colloquially. You understand me? Y'all gone till to the States, you're still eating curry and roti. You're still eating your cook up. Y'all even trying to sample the people food and trying to appreciate a different culture. Right? Y'all still want your bake in the morning and your bread and your roti, your bacon and your choker. Good to have you folks. I got my popcorn. I got my cokes. I ain't sharing. I like freeness. That's why people treat y'all. Anyhow, y'all like too much of freeness. Right? I sound like Alison Hunt there when I say y'all. Y'all like a lot of freeness. Unlike Alison, I stay right in my country. You understand me? I was born, bred here, went to school here. You understand me? Went Ishmael, proud Ishmael, graduate Richard Ishmael, secondary, Wolford Avenue. We don't learn any everything, Yeah, proud graduate of Richard Ishmael. Then I went on to IDC. I did industrial relations and management there. Met some fantastic folks. Went on to university. Did an undergraduate in communications. Read law, and I graduate. Folks, I graduate. I got my LLB. I got my pungs. I graduated in 3 short years. The LLB program is a very, very short program, but very, very rigorous. In 3 short years, I had my degree. I have my degree in law and went on to do a lot of things with my life. Here and there now. So when along work out, you host your own social media program. Good to have you guys. Guys, you recognize by now, nothing keep me down and I fighting them through a thick and thin. You understand me? And PPP ain't determining the level of my joy. I'm sorry about that. The PPP, the economy, the high prices of goods and services in the market. You understand me? The fact that the past me house them bringing flood relief here and don't keeping my joy down, folks. You gotta make yourself happy in this country. Catch it dinner. Good to have so many of you on the program. Let me take away my cokes. Because some of you are like Christian. Don't iron it up. Don't iron it up already. It's Unplugged Tuesday, folks. Welcome in the ring. Welcome in the ring. Good to have each and every one of you on the program. Each and every one of you on the program this evening. Whether you're joining us home here in Guyana, in the Caribbean, in the diaspora, internationally. Welcome in the ring, folks. What's for dinner? What's for dinner? Those of you who are watching us on your smart TV, y'all push like that. I have a relative, they want to say posh, you push. You push like that. You're on your smart television, either looking at us on Facebook, watch, or you're watching us on YouTube. You're a tuber watching us on YouTube. We are privileged that you're going to spend this time with us, folks. We got some issues to talk about, and I want to get to the hot topics right away, folks. I want to get to the hot topics. Right? I want to touch on the hot topics. And folks, we have been telling you here as regards the flood. As you know, lots and lots of our real estate as a country is still under water. It's still under. You see, folks, they got people in the diaspora joining us. And like a typical Guyanese, I just bring in my accent when I'm ready. I just bring in my accent. So lots of the country is underwater. Lots of the country is underwater. And they have not been distributing the flood relief in an equitable manner. And I'll prove that to you because we have 2 totally different communities miles apart from each other complaining about the same problem. Complaining about the same problem. The wicked, evil, installed PPP administration only giving the flood relief, just like the COVID cash grant, to their constituents. And that is wrong. That is wrong. So I want to share a little bit about that with you as we start. That is absolutely wrong. So look what is happening in our country. Let me ensure that that is stood up. Look at what's happening in our beautiful country by these install folks. Take a listen and take a look at this, and we come back on the other side.
Well, gentlemen, of course, what we receive a bag of rice. The bag of rice is not satisfied. Because if they share an amper is not a bag of rice. An amper is a weak ration. Live it up everything.
Yeah, so true.
You understand me? So you cannot bring a bag of rice and we are skin harvester. And right now, for this crop, if we go for cut cane, for cut cane right now, that cane what we're going to reach it, we only one crop here because we can't get the other crop. So, we feel up with the
Yeah, other places get different things. Other places get full amper. They get rice, they get flour, they get sugar, they get complete amper.
The place like Babuja,
Places like Babuja, Blackbush, and the same they call them affected with the fund. Just so always affected. And in a fear that you give one set of people a set of thing, and you just come here and give one bag of rice. How can you rice alone?
one bag of rice is not a hamper. Rice alone, I'll get away for rice alone.
How can you rice alone?
This is like a room.
Other places that share hamper, some people live there, and they go use the hamper and get.
Correct.
And then you come and give rice so and you don't give to everybody. You just give to a portion of people.
Just to say, add a little bit more. Gaisuku is an entity that deals with sugar. And whilst we are thankful, we want to know how can an entity that deals with sugar share rice?
And no sugar.
And no sugar. You understand? We are demanding of our cooperation, that's Gaisuku, to share sugar.
Correct.
And the resident also, this including me too, is demanding that we get a full scale hamper. A hamper that comprises of everything.
Correct.
The flood has been affected everybody. And so with that, as I said earlier, whilst we are thankful, we are still hoping that you will treat all citizens of this nation equally.
Correct.
We want treatment just like Blackbush, just like Babu John, and just like Wim, and just like Region 3. Those are the treatment we want, you understand? And we are demanding this sort of treatment. We are not no 1 gallon rice people.
No, not that.
You understand? We are people who know about good living, good eating habits. Good. Right? So I will call on the government and all other business place to put the resource together and serve us just like how we serve the other community.
Yeah, because if you see a man,
one bag rice.
If you're saying that they are government for all the people, you're supposed to treat all the people equally.
Well, no.
You can't treat some more than some. Like you're going for all, treat everybody equally.
Yeah. Can't to fans how me so the man bring the price, it look like a victimization.
Yeah, so thanks viewers for listening to this video. I hope that you share this video with your friends, neighbors, groups, and whatsoever, and help us that we can get enough coverage that people will act in our behalf. Thank you.
Yeah.
You can deal with streets after it. You can't fix streets.
Everybody in roads is now floodways, now one part or one section. It's everybody floodways. And I think everybody should get something. Not who name them on this.
What are you talking about?
Everybody. That is what they work with. They work with I think everybody should get something. If they have everybody are named, the one all name everybody are named.
That's what I said. They said they get a list to go over side and not over this side.
We get the most out of this side. Everybody.
Yeah, folks, there you
Well,
have it. Now, I
gentlemen-
understand that you got people in a real crunch situation because of this national flood that the PPP is not administering or administrating well at all. And so they have needs, they got families and so on. But folks, I'm telling you this, I rather suck salt. You understand me? I rather suck salt before I put myself through the embarrassment that the PPP want to put us through. I rather suck salt, folks. And so we are monitoring that situation there. Again, a lot of wrongs being committed by the current administration. A lot of wrongs. You're wronging people because the money and the resources of this country belongs to all Guyanese. And I am ashamed, honest to God, I am ashamed that we can call ourselves an oil producing country because we don't feel it. We do not feel it. Perhaps this is what they call the oil resource curse. Rich in natural resources, but the thieves at the top. The thieves at the top This country is filthy rich. It is opulent. It is wealthy. Nobody with the small population we have should be in want. Anybody in want is wickedness on the part of the administration. So, guys, I want to walk us through the rest of our hot topics this evening. International news, folks. International news. Let us start there as we're coming out of that flood situation. We're going to go back there. Bartica, good night. Good night to the folks of Bartica. Tag your friends, tag your family. We're coming to Bartica just now. We sail into Bartica. We ain't sailing, but we sail into Bartica. International news, folks. I don't know if you guys know about this stamp called the Black Magenta. Black Magenta is one of the rarest stamps in the world, and it's a stamp that originated in Guyana back in the period when we were a colonial, a part of the colonial empire, British Guyana. And this stamp, one of, if not the rarest stamp in the world, sold today. It's sold today for, wait for it, drum roll, wait for it, $8.3 million US. The Black Magenta sold for. I'm not going to go into all the details about the makeup of the stamp and why it is so rare, but a Guyanese stamp, a British Guyana stamp, the 1 cent Black Magenta, sold today for $8.3 million US. That could feed a lot of mouths in this country, a lot of mouths. And so we're always on the world stage in one form or another. And in this case, it's for a very, very good reason. Again, it was issued in 1856, a long time ago. We were a British colony, as I said, and this stamp originated here. And this is just a part of it I'm showing you. The 1 cent Black Magenta is sold for $8.3 million US, folks. And just to take you through some of the confusion powder now of the People's Progressive Party civic administration, install fraudulent illegal administration. We put together a calendar just for you guys, because we want to show you guys some of the madness that has been happening. June 1, you had the big fiasco with Paul Slow telling this nation that Ali tried to influence the promotion list of the police force. And then we have the floods continuing by June 2nd. Right? This is a sign in Rockstone that is over probably 15 feet high. Right? And the water rose higher than this, where this girl is on the sign, June 2nd. By June 3rd, you got this install one, Nandilal, talking about, disregarding the ruling of the Chief Justice, saying the parliamentary secretaries got to go in Parliament as members of Parliament, and you're going to put 2 seats to the side. And then on June 3rd also, we passed the 400th COVID death locally, the 400th COVID death locally. And June 3rd also, we heard that the fraudulent administration would have denied the family of cultural icon Daphne Rogers for her being having her funeral service there at the National Cultural Center, Tarmac, right? And then by June 4th, you got this other installed old Baku Jumbi man, Mr. Sheikh Bash, right? Imagine he's still in government. Since I was a little boy, Sheikh Bash the boat. He's still the boat. Some people want a state funeral, Some people want a state funeral. He's still the boat, right? So Sheikh Bash there firing people Wild West at GWI, the water company. But Sheikh Bash day's numbers, watch and see what I tell you. God don't like ugly. He day's number. By June 5th, we see a surge in Region 9 where COVID is concerned. And then again, as we said this evening, as we pointed out, just this evening, this whole issue of the inequity in the distribution of the flood relief items begin to take grip. You understand me? Licorice PPP sharing only the flood relief items to supporters, right? And then by June 5th as well, we had the fire at the psychiatric hospital, right? Some people escaped, right? They say one went on a jet boat, 2 went fishing late one night by the conservancy. By June 6th, more COVID deaths. 4 more COVID deaths. Every day is COVID deaths. Just today, I think 5 persons would have succumbed to COVID-19. And of course, by June 7th, right, we see yesterday, they're finally admitting that this current flood is one of the worst national disasters in our country's history. And also yesterday, we learned about the skullduggery and the illegality happening in Bartica with Skeete, Belle, and Ward, and the whole pack of Jagabats. The whole pack of Jagabats. So that is just some of which, a quick recap for those of you who might have missed some of our other nights on what is we're gonna be adding to this calendar as we proceed. But folks, coming out of that, look at this madness. So you had this install one, Darmlal, in leg one recently. In leg one recently, you had Darmlal there. And first thing, you got to have no mask and meeting with members of the public. No mask. So again, total disregard for COVID-19 and the protocols, no mask. That's number one, right? But some of what Darmlal said is very, very interesting in his interaction with the folks there at leg one. And this is just over the last 24 hours, right? Let me quote some of what he said in this report. And this is out of, believe it or not, this is out of DPI, where the installed Vice President Jagdeo said nobody listens to or reads. It's out of them. He said in a meeting there at leg one, there's a lot of shortcomings in terms of how we deal with issues like farmers destroying infrastructure. This is at leg one, you know, PPP stronghold. Farmers destroying infrastructure, right, in agricultural areas, which I call on them to desist. So the people at leg one destroying the government's infrastructure, he's calling on them to desist and to contribute significantly, the infrastructure which contributes significantly to the economic welfare of the island, right? When these people go and see the courts, that's why I want to know. He goes on to state, when someone tampers with a sluice or coker, that can affect the likelihood of others. And I hope the NDC is going to be more conscious addressing these issues. These issues can be considered a criminal offense. So when these people going to go to jail, when they see the day in court, I remember the president gone by a coker looking to see if a man sleeping or he awake, and if the pumps were on. So I am just saying, it seems as though leg one needs some attention because according to the minister, install illegal, illegitimate minister, they are destroying infrastructure there in agricultural areas in leg one, right? They are tampering with the sluice and the coker. So I call on the president, wait till around midnight, skip a fishing trip and take a walk to leg one, because if anybody needs somebody to just show up, is these guys there destroying coker, destroying sluices, folks? What's happening? What is happening, right? And as we're on the calendar of confusion, powder, and calamity, right? Whole month, confusion and calamity by the PPP, and the month just started. This is today. 2 men left the Lusignan prison unceremoniously. Right? People don't escape in this country. They just left. They just leave. They just go and do the biddings of others, and then they just come back. Some has come back. Right? So these two left. You know, today, Lusignan. Right? These guys left. Let me see if we have their names here. They left. Right? You have, according to the report that we have, around 7:30 hours during the unlocking of the prison, the quarantine section, which was supervised by the duty officer and 4 other ranks, it was observed that 2 prisoners were unaccounted for during the checking of the tally. Right? They said the matter was immediately reported to the officer in charge of the prison, one David Shepard, superintendent of prisons acting, who immediately ordered a roll call to confirm the information. Yep. And then they found that these guys would have left. Yep. Don't let me go to escape. They left, folks. They left. And I'm hoping that you guys are paying the price of admissions. I hope so. I hope you guys are paying the price of admissions, and you are sharing, you are retweeting, and you guys are going to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So they left. They're going to do somebody bidding, and then you can see in another couple of weeks or days, you can see Ting. So these guys will have left. More calamity. What will happen tomorrow? Only God knows. And to prove to you, folks, even cow deserves love. To prove to you, jail is not a real place. If you didn't believe it when the prisoners walking out and walking in to Lusignan as though it's a halfway house. It's a short time place. Right? How much time short time place is charged now? If you know how much time short time place is charged, put a comment there for me. Right? To prove that Guyana is not a real place, folks. This is today. This is the state newspapers. Man in custody. Man in front and a woman behind. No, it's cow in front and a man behind. Man in custody for having sex with cow and 4 calves. Right? Man in custody for having sex with cow and 4 calves. Yep. Ghana is not a real place. Now, they didn't say whether this was the first time, whether these calves is his own, whether he's the father or what have you. But this was the headline. Right? I had to save me brain matter to read other purposeful things. We didn't delve into the article. I didn't even read what they put down in the notes. I just going with the headline. Man in custody. A cow in front and a man behind. That is not what the song says. A man in front and a woman. Something like that. Man in custody for having sex with cow and 4 calves. Is a cow with 4 calves or the cow and the 4 calves? I don't know sometimes. But we take it as this. The cow and the calves get knocked. Right? The cow and the calves got knocked. Serious? Right? COVID, the national flood, desperation taking hold. Desperation and the demons taking hold. Right? So the cows are safe. So all those cows that stranded, all over the country and all them farms that flooded, y'all watch the cows. Right? It's more than the floods killing them. And then quickly we come to COVID, and again the COVID numbers have gone up this evening. The COVID numbers have gone up this evening. There are now an additional 5 persons who would have succumbed today for COVID-19. But folks, we're going to wrap up on COVID. I want to bring my guest on this evening because we're back in Bartica. Right? We're back in Bartica. And I got my popcorn and I got my cokes. I want to welcome my guest this evening. He is a resident out of Bartica, the one and only Mr. Paul Burnette. Paul, a very good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, Sharon.
Good to have you. This is a guy who loves Bartica. He's a teacher. He's a resident of Bartica. And because of the Bacchanal in Bartica, we wanted to touch base with him since he has his ear to the ground and know what the people of Bartica are thinking. But Paul, I want to share some of what would have transpired last evening on our program with this issue concerning these revelations by Mr. Skeete, the RDC member, because we want the public to, those persons who may not have joined us and had a chance to listen to it, to hear some of what transpired. Then we're going to come back and I'm going to pick your brain on these issues on the other side, Paul. So let's take some of that and then we're going to
them. Sure.
It was big embarrassment then the Prime Minister team going over to Falmouth when the boat break down in the middle of the river. And this is the kind of service he's giving the region for the millions of dollars they're spending. Comrades, it aches me. I stay in my car and I say it's nothing. And, it aches me for here, comrades, telling you that this is how people run you down in your absence. We must be matured and talk about people when they're in your presence. Don't run down a person in their absence. Belle is talking. I have all my receipts, compliance, you name it, for all my vehicle, everything that I own. I pay my taxes. His hotel is an illegal institution, no license. And he's talking about people. When he talks about greediness, Belle got to stand up in front of mirror and then repeat who is greedy. Belle know what he's doing and what he's getting, and he's getting into contract also. He got contracts last year. I know this. Presently, he's tendering under Peter Ramanujar's son's name for contract. And this is the man talking about Skeete. I am fed up and sick about it, comrades. If the party wants me to leave, I'm willing to do this. I was made to understand that Ward said that Skeete demanded 2 contracts. Comrade, I never demanded 2 contracts, right? Anybody who is into contracts and you attend the reading of the opening of contracts and you know your paperwork that you have done will know if you are in line for that contract. Any contractor who are a seasoned contractor will know that. I cross all my T's, dot all my I's, and every single thing the evaluation criteria require, Skeete has. From bank statement, everything for tenders. Okay? So I said to Ward, I said I'm almost positive that I'm recommended by the evaluation committee for 2 work. And if you check the records will show that Skeete Dukchan Trading was recommended for 2 work by the evaluation committee. So it's not that Skeete demanded 2 work. The other issue I want to talk about, Ward said that I have 3 work and haven't started any. It is a total lie. I don't know why these people are as character assassinators. All my contracts finished. All my contracts finished. And if he knows the procedure is when a contract is awarded to you, you sign the contract, the engineer has to take you what you call a site visit. My site visit for Perima Teachers Living Quarters was done on Friday because of several factors that were affected. Plane run off the airstrip. We had to end up going from Camarang, go around by boat. And people making statements without knowing these things. Comrade, I have 1 contract that was awarded. I did the site visit last Friday. I purchased nearly over 50% of the lumber already from the community. And I don't know why people are doing these things. What is it? Skeete is not want anybody's work. I don't look at what everybody gets. It's not today Skeete doing contract. Years now, over a decade. And Ward knows a fact that I have on my desk. When I was in opposition, I tendered for work. And what happened? I came in lowest and, I know he saw it on my desk. Comrades, I am getting fed up with Belle. I'm making my position clear. I don't even want to go back to Belle venue for any meeting. Only because of the love for my party, I tolerate it. This man is so compulsive liars that he speaks nothing truth. My brother could say to me what transpired at the meeting. And numerous other comrades, I wouldn't call the name. Up to this evening, 3 comrades were together and said, Skeete, imagine people are saying if you have done all of this for your party. And this is how people, because Skeete was the talk of the thing by Stephen Belle, contributed by Ward. Right? My brother is proud enough of me. He's not like Clarence Bell, who is a Stephen Bell brother, talked about Stephen Bell taking off from a letter that they wrote requesting an additional boat on the service each, took off the back page. Clarence Bell told me and my friends, we were talking. I have people could attest to that. There is talks and it is facts, it's in the records to show that this man is inflating his bills at the region and talking about me. Stand up in front of the mirror, look in front and see for yourself and then make your judgment. I'm going to forward this thing to Comrade Gill and then I'm going to put it onto the general watch. Enough of you were laughing, enough people were giggling and things. But let them stand up in front of the mirror and talk and see, ask yourself if you better than Skeete. I challenge any one of our comrades, walk down the road and see who will greet you. We'll get the most.
So Paul, there we have it.
Within this community.
There we have some of what was revealed last evening. I don't know. I'm trying to say this as eloquent or ask this as eloquently as I can. What the hell happening in Bartica and Region 7?
First of all, you got to understand there's a saying that goes, a thief man don't like see Matty thief man with bag. Good. And I have been part of that party when Bartica was running for president the first time. I've worked my head and tail off to sell his dream and to make people see him as a young leader with vision. I was wrong. I'll be very honest. I was wrong. I think I did Bartica wrong by selling that dream and have converted some people to being PPP members. I saw young people being used by that party for their own selfish gains, and I left. I left. I spoke to my youths at the time, and I said, "Listen, it's up to you. You want to say, but I'm leaving."
I can't rush past that, right? I can't rush past that. You don't have to call name, but what do you mean by you saw people being used for selfish gains?
The youths in our community were being used for selfish gains. For example, there were some young girls in Bartica who wanted to get into nursing. And they were promised that they would have been given the opportunity to attend the nursing school in Linden and yada, yada, yada. On doing my investigation, I learned that these young girls were approached for sexual favors to get into the school. There was also an alleged
strangers, they were approached by
no by members of that party who became ministers afterwards. And I was like, so why only now are you coming to me to tell me what happened and why you were approached? I mean, they were probably scared because these are men who are going to be in power, are going to be ministers, pledged, promised, whatever. I said, listen, this is wrong. I'm not going to condone this. I'm not going to encourage this. I am leaving. Myself and the now deceased Natasha Wyatt, we were head of the youth organization for PPP Bartica then. And we spoke about it, we talked to the youths about it, and we left. I encouraged them, I said, listen, this is bigger than us. You need to let your parents know what's happening. You need to let them get involved and deal with it. We can deal with this collectively as young people. We can put it in black and white, make our complaints and so on and so on. But I guess persons were scared and it never materialized. However, with that being said, I'm surprised though that Skeete is making all these complaints now about who, what, and who, what. But
why are you surprised?
Because let me tell you something. I have seen Bartica move from a place of unity to being a place of total confusion and corruption now, because of people like Skeete and the now deceased Mr. Das. I'll be very honest.
Well, Paul,
I can remember.
You go make it. I got my Coke and my popcorn now. I'm listening. Go right ahead.
The thing is, I could remember when Dr. Westford, Jennifer Westford, was there in Bartica. She wasn't a minister yet. She was a regional health officer, whatever, Region 7. She was there. She used to encourage us as young leaders and so on to, push ourselves and get things done and so on. She would make recommendations for myself and Ms. Wyatt and so on to get certain positions or to go on certain trainings. And these are the people who go behind our backs, who went behind our backs to talk us down to the leader of the party, then to let them know that they have been in the party so many years, and these are now comers, and eventually their sons and their daughters. So their sons and their daughters and whoever else would have gone to training. Some of them, they were fortunate enough for their children to become regional executive officers, and then there were all these allegations laid against them, and they were moved from region to region. Nobody never faced a court day. It just started from there, from one small thing to the other. God, promises that were never held, promises that were never met. And it got to the point where I began to hate the PPP party. I began to hate them because you're promising young people, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. They built a center, a multi-purpose kind of hall there in Bartica that we were involved in, which was supposed to help empower young people in the region. But the amount of red tape, the amount of permission you had to seek to use, I just gave up on everything. I said, no, that's it for me in politics. And I stepped out. And I waited and I watched, I learned, I keep voicing my opinions, my concerns, my complaints. I called names, whatever in my lives and so on. And I decided I want to be part of a party or a government that is all inclusive, a government that allows us freedom of speech, a government that is just, a government that gives justice and is respected. And that's when I rejoined, matter of fact, the PNC party in 2014. Good. I've been dormant all the time. I haven't been saying anything. I've just been following and listening and doing what I have to do on the grounds. But I think it's time for me to have my voice heard.
And we were happy about that.
The thing is, I want to know, I might be dumb about this, but as a councillor, how are you bidding for contracts? You're on the board.
Yeah. You're on the council. Yep.
How the hell is that possible? You're in the RDC. Was Belle boat service given free transportation to the Prime Minister team, or was he being paid for it by the government? Did he bid for it? Was it a bidding process, or was he identified by the government to be?
He has a contract with the RDC for the repair of the boats and so forth. At least that is what Skeete is telling us here. And that letters and documents have been tampered with. That is one of the allegations that Skeete is making against his people.
But listen, Sharad, the inflation of bills has been happening for years. It has been happening for years. Good. I could remember when I was a teacher up there, and we would bring the children down for matrimony and so on. We had to prepare our budget and so on, so on. We would try our best to stay within our budget. Sometimes when we came to Georgia, monies remain and we would take it back and we would give it back to the treasury. But I sat in the admin office at one time and I saw, oh my God, he was youth officer at the time. Anyway, I saw a voucher for him for how much hundreds of thousands of dollars for a visit to some outlying region. If you see the prices and you could, I was like, what? Is he going to be paid? I said, he going to be paid this amount of money?
Inflation of costs. Inflating of costs.
You see, Bartica, I think what has happened too, I don't even blame the PPP people for it. We have people there who are leaders of that community. We have our regional chairman, we have our vice chairman, we have our mayor, we have our deputy mayor. I don't even care to vex with me when I don't talk now. They're there to do a job. And if you see something, you smell something, you sense something is wrong, you're supposed to get up and get and work on it. The minute you hear a little bit, I tell people, for every ounce of rumor, there's a hint of truth in it. Keep your mind open.
I disagree with you with the first part. I agree with you with the second. I disagree to the extent that these guys are involved in corrupt activities and they have to be blamed. I agree with you to the extent also that the folks who are on the ground there should get up. I mean, I went to the mayor's Facebook page today and I saw nothing about this. And it was I was made to understand that this was brought to the mayor's attention. I'm surprised. I didn't see any comment from the mayor.
Nothing from the mayor, the regional chairman. Nobody made a comment.
I went to the chairman of the region's Facebook page. I didn't see any comment about this kind of illegalities. It makes me wonder. And I've spoken with some of the folks on the ground like you who are wondering what is happening in Bartica.
I think everybody is helping everybody. If you get to give a raise, we can keep it on the right. That's just my thoughts. I might be wrong. But if we put you there to do a job, you need to do it. Something like this comes out all of a sudden, obviously it's going to incriminate you. It's going to involve you somewhere or the other. Because somewhere along the line, you got to sign some document, some check, something for them to get paid. You know the policies, the rules, the regulations, everything governing bidding and all of that. Why is a councillor being offered a contract? You know, what's happening?
And that's what Belle said. Belle said, Comrade Gail is being, Skeete will be sent this information. So I'm assuming that Gail has this information by now. He says that the boat breakdown with the PM, this boat that they paid Belle to repair and to operate and so forth. He says Belle is operating his hotel without a license. Right? If Belle has a license, I'd love to see a copy of it. He said Belle is tendering for contracts under the name of Peter
Ramatar sons.
Peter Ramatar, as far as I know, is the chairman of Region 8.
Ariel.
The REO of Region 8. He's tendering under his son. Right? He goes on to say that that contracts, these both contracts and so on, there was some amount of tampering with them and favors. He says bills submitted to the region were inflated. These are serious charges.
Serious allegations. Yeah.
And I'm surprised
And
that
favors that are embarrassing all of us.
Regional and the municipal have said nothing about this matter over the last 24
but
hours.
Let's just assume, and we know when we assume what we do, but just let's the two of us assume that they don't know. They're now hearing about it, and they're thinking and brainstorming, and they're getting their evidence and their facts together to refute whatever's being said. But at the same time, this cannot be a just now come hard something. This is something that's been going on for years.
Well, I'm certain watching Paul. I'm certain that people are in touch with the authorities, the mayor, the chairman of the region. They would alert them, and if they want
Sharad, the people in Bartica, from what I was told by persons in Bartica, they're tired of speaking or reaching out to the mayor, the regional chairman, or whatever, because it just goes on deaf ear. It just goes on deaf ear. We have a situation whereby, let me just go off a little bit, a situation whereby a businesswoman is allowed to have her club run parties till whatever hour in the morning and all of that. Last week I spoke about it. Before I could have made another post, it was reported. I was blocked on Facebook for 7 days and all of that. And I smiled, and then all the messages and pictures and so on came in. On Saturday night again, there was another party, and by 10 o'clock, the doors were locked, and inside was filled with people and all of that. You can tell me nobody called the police, but then they said when they call the police, it's another thing. Look, you see, Bartica now is so corrupt, and it's so divided. It's a scary place to live in.
Paul, I'm going to say this to people. Because you have friends who are in power, you should, not you, Paul, but in general, you should want to obey the law. And that's why I say to my friends, because you're my friend, you should not want me to say, oh, I can turn a blind eye to you around.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand me?
Because our friendship
in this country, it's not 7 curries, it's one law.
Exactly.
And all of us should be held accountable.
Yes. And then your doing reflects on my reputation. If you're my friend, I'm a leader, you do bad. Oh, it's Paul's friend, nobody can touch, he's not going to say nothing. It looks bad. And as friends, we're supposed to say to each other, no, yo, what you're doing that's wrong. No, I won't endorse that. You can't do that. Remember, you got me, I'm your friend. You gotta endorse what I am doing, live up to my expectations, so people can respect the both of us. Not because we're friends. People take this friendship thing to not even serious anymore. Friendship is a big thing.
You said that you aren't surprised. You said you're not surprised by some of what you heard here about them not having compliance, business operating without a license. According to Belle, he says that, according to Skeete, he says that, these tenders and contracts are being tampered with, bills are being inflated for the region, and all of that. You get a sense that none of this was surprising to you. But what have you been hearing on the ground in Bartica? What the people in Bartica have been saying?
The people in Bartica have been saying, and that's what we know for a fact, that certain contractors are not awarded contracts. They're not awarded contracts, even though they would have compliance. They have everything that's required of them, but they're not awarded contracts because they're deemed a supporter of our government. They're deemed the APNU supporter. They're deemed a whatever supporter. So they're not being awarded contracts. And that has been happening for some time. I mean, there are persons who went to our community and they've made some changes to that. I know contractors in Bartica who are A1 contractors. You can guarantee that when they do the work, you get your money's worth. But they won't give them that contract. They prefer to give it to Wardy's brother or somebody else who is a supporter of their party. And that shouldn't be. If the president is saying that we are one Guyana, well, then everything needs to be done fairly.
Yeah.
But what I've come to realize that we are one Guyana indeed, because people are now seeing us as a Guyana of really 6 races, because we're so divided. Everybody's fighting for themselves and their own, which shouldn't be. Yeah. It hurts so much, because there are persons there in Bartica who's got the talent, the skill, and everything to do whatever, and they're being pushed to the side. I can talk of teachers who should have been head teachers by now, were denied that position and somebody was brought from another region to be head teacher of that school. That shouldn't be. You have the people there, their qualifications, put them in their positions. Once they would have applied, once they would have gone through the process, you make your recommendation. You keep your own at home. I know teachers who've left the Bartica because there was no scope for growth and development in that community. And they're now serving other schools as deputies and as heads, as head of departments and all of that. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. Why must we import people
Agree.
when we have our own?
Right here. Yeah.
Exactly. We let the crabs in a barrel now. And that's not Bartica alone, that's all over. We let crabs in a barrel now.
That is a tragedy. Paul, you understand because you said you've been part of the PPP operation for a little while. You've come back home now, thankfully. But we have seen in this country how the PPP operates. Again, it's one law for somebody else and no law
for
them. As a matter of fact,
couple
of weeks ago, we saw this Dalrymple woman bite a police officer. She's yet to be charged. She is yet to be charged. We saw a woman bite a policeman in this country. Right?
Nothing will come out of that.
What do you get a sense is going to happen now that we've had these revelations of some what is transpiring in Region 7 and in Bartica?
Let me tell you what's going to happen. And it can only happen if the people in Bartica stand up for what they believe in. I always believe in the process. Write your letters. Address it to the minister, even though he's installed. Address it to him. Carbon copy to all the other persons that you need to get involved in this. Get your petitions, get it signed, take action, or else we're going to sink. We're going to sink. People are going to walk all over us. Soon Bartica is not going to be Bartica anymore. It might be something with a Brazilian name on it because they're doing business and they have more rights than us who are living there. And that shouldn't be. Everybody's supposed to have the same rights and same responsibilities. Good. But if they don't take action, if Bartica people don't, because they're scared to talk. A lot of them, when they, don't call my name. No, this is what's happening. And they would send screenshots of this and screenshots of that and videos and so on. I said, wow, really? And y'all is saying that, by Paul, look, you see in Bartica here, you do something, everybody hold it to the cross and this and that. The police vex you and the target you and this body. That shouldn't be. That shouldn't be. People should be able to approach anybody in office and say, this is what's happening. This is the evidence I have. Do something about it. And that person should be, protected. Nobody got to know where Paul come to you and tell you this or tell you that. To nobody to target you. We have become too politicalized now. Everything is about politics and race. And it hurts. That's why I got a bald head. Nobody would ever know now the race I be. Because I've suffered enough with racism in this country. So I decided, you know what? Go bald. They can't call you nothing but bald. And in Bartica is such a beautiful place. It's such a beautiful place. We have such great potential. If only we can come together as the people we used to be and work on developing Bartica.
Now, we know, now that we have a sense, we know that there's tremendous fractions now in the PPP Bartica outfit. What do you think happens now? Where Belle and all these guys, some of them should just resign. Should just resign.
Listen, they should resign. That's one. But even resigning won't even solve that problem. Because in the RDC of itself, put aside parties, there's a fight for power. There's a grabble for money. They don't care. I'm here. I am part of this, so I should get this. It's as though we owe them something. But the fractions that have occurred now, there's more to come and it's going to get worse. In the name of Jesus, it's going to get worse and people are going to see the PPP for who they really are.
Now the time your mic is hot. If you know something, talk the things.
The
mic hot.
It is coming. There will come a time when they are going to be so embarrassed. I am telling you, they're going to be so embarrassed. Not only in Bartica, but all over. All over. Right now, I tell people straight up, I don't have a business. One person, when I finished a live last week about the businesswoman and her club and so on, I got a call. Paul, be careful. This girl is connected all over. And
All
next
be
thing you know,
connected.
the fine. I said,
All be connected.
listen, I said, I'll be connected. One. I said, two. And I said, if they find me like the next crummy ring and they never find the murder, even though we know who the murders are, so be it. At least I would have died for a cause. I said, but somebody's got to speak out. I said, y'all sitting down at home and scared to talk? Why? If the target, you just let me know. I know what to do. I will go. I come into Bartica. Let the chase.
Fine,
When I
like
go to
that.
Bartica
Like that.
this week,
Yeah.
I want the chase. I want to approach him for the road and tell me, get out. You don't belong here. I want somebody tell me something that I go and prepared for them.
You
I
gotta
go and
fight them.
prepared for them because like everybody else, I got an English tongue in my head, and I could get just as ghetto, I could get just as Creole, I could get as professional, I could be anybody you want me to be.
Mhm.
Depends on your approach. Depends on
Yeah.
your approach. The other thing I noticed is that we have a lot of uneducated people
Mhm.
sitting in chairs and having positions,
We like when you're uneducated.
especially especially on this side, especially the PPP side in Bartica. I listened to that voice note and I got a headache. All the grammar wrong, the green verbs, everything just is like.
Mhm.
And this is a counselor. This is somebody who's supposed to be a leader
Making
in our
decisions for your
community.
life and my own. And the
Yeah,
partitions. Yep.
and you can't construct a proper sentence.
Yep.
No, that doesn't do well for me. I
Yep.
think Irene Ward, I don't know, something is wrong. Whatever they give him to Robbie drink, because he has
It's
been with that party
confusion
for so
powder, boy.
long.
Confusion powder.
So long he has been with that party. I joined that party, met him. He got so many promises, and to date
Mhm.
he cannot even be a regional executive officer nowhere or a
Mhm.
regional. He hasn't been given any proper position, respected position that is. Boys
Mhm.
came after him, sons of members came after him and became REOs and all of that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And he's an intelligent young man with big
Mhm.
ideas. But I
Mhm.
guess it's ego, ego and men, makes them, oh, I'm just ashamed to admit I'm being used.
Yeah. Some of them
Like,
shame. Some of them shame. Some of them thought they would
look,
have got so much. You understand
yeah,
me? And
my friend Belle was to become something. My friend Belle was to become something, but they never give him anything. Yeah,
I
he was
wonder
to
why.
become some minister or something,
Mhm.
but I
Mhm.
don't know. It's about time people see. I mean, for me, I don't have to be anything. I'm always I love Bartica to the dirt. That was where I was born. I was educated there. Everything happened for me there, good and bad. And even though over the years they've tried to cut me out of things, they had to run right back. Like for the
Mhm.
regatta, for example, you would hear in meetings that I was beat down. Why Paul got to come and organize a pageant? Or why you can't get somebody else? Now you
Mhm.
got your own that you can invest in and give them that opportunity to showcase Bartica in its entirety. But you beat them down and you bring in somebody else, and at the last minute, the same person you beat down got to come and help you and pull it together
Yeah.
and make it
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
So it's Bartica really, really need a revival. Those so-called Christians in Bartica really need to start being Christians, get on their knees, fast and pray, and just and hope that Bartica comes back to the glory days when everybody used to be one. Everybody used to
Mhm.
embrace everybody, help everybody without cussing out and telling people, but oh, we only help what we own, and who calling who hungry belly and a whole heap of nonsense. So it hurts though. It hurts. My mom wants to go back to Bartica for her last days. I want to take her back, but I know how I am. I know how I am. And like I told her today, I said, Mommy, you will go probably just for a visit and come back. The place is too
Mhm.
toxic. It's too
Mhm.
toxic. So we don't want you to have your last days in areas like that, where people see your son as, oh, he's an apnu, so hey, he can. No, I tell everybody,
Yeah.
I got friends who are people too, and I tell them straight up. I say, if apnu
Mhm.
wrong, I talk against it. When they're right,
Yeah.
I praise them. I say, when
Yeah.
PPP wrong, I'll talk against it, and when they're right, I'll praise them. I said, but for
Yeah.
now, there's no praises to PPP. There's none.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Come right.
that's me.
Come right.
That's who I
And,
am.
and that is all we gotta do. The business people gotta come right. You understand me? There are laws, there are rules. Come right. The police in Bartica gotta come right.
Corrupt,
You understand me? The
corrupt.
administration, the mayor, the municipality, the
Everybody,
region, regional, they
everybody.
must come right. Do right
Everybody,
by the English people.
everybody.
That's all we gotta do.
People are not,
Do right by the English people.
and people don't like you when you're upright. For example, Hilbert Knights has been fired. I heard nothing from Bartica on the topic. I could hear a pin drop on that issue in Bartica.
Mm.
You see, people
Gilbert
won't
Knight was
like
fired
you
from there
when you're.
because he might have been working at a private business and fired and said, well, that's not their business. Where was
That's
Hilbert
the
Knight
thing.
working?
Hilbert Knight was the commissioner, I think, at the Gold Board in Bartica. He was one of the
Oh,
commissioners
yeah.
in Bartica.
Mhm.
His brother
Mhm.
Hulbert was the regional chairman. He has a pharmacy. And you
Mhm.
know why? What makes Hulbert one of the person I all respect and love? Hulbert's the kind of man, no matter what they talk about him, he got to get the work done. He gets it done.
Mhm.
And he says straight up, whatever cost it is, we have to make
Mhm.
sure that it's accounted for. Maybe nobody
Mhm.
carry me name for the little bit of money.
Mhm.
Good. But the Bartica people got to stand up. And as a
Yeah.
leader, and this is for
Yeah.
all the leaders in Bartica, people are not going to like you if you're just. People are not going to like you when you're straightforward and you're honest. But you got to
Yeah.
remember the word integrity. Integrity plays a major role in
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
minute you're going to accept bribes or you're going to accept big gifts from people or a businessman or a businesswoman
You
just to turn
compromise.
a blind eye, you're
You're
compromised.
gone.
You
Yeah.
can't go now
You're
and
gone.
tell the person, no, this, you can't do this, whatever. They cuss you
Yeah.
out to your face and you can't say
Yeah.
nothing. You can't
Yeah.
say nothing. I mean, if you bring a gift for me Christmas time, Mayor, this gift here is for the good works you've been doing. Thank you, whoever, or regional chairman, or whatever. Fine. And
Yeah.
then I talk to you afterwards about something you do wrong and the respect is due. That's
Yeah.
it. But, nah, we got to do better. We got to do
Yeah.
better. We got to do
Yeah.
better.
Much better.
Barca got to do.
And that's what we're saying. People got to take the oath that they take to serve the people of this country. They got to take it
Seriously.
seriously. You understand me? The law might miss some of y'all, but God judgment won't miss
Yeah,
y'all.
yes,
You understand me? The fire
exactly.
here from the gold board. You understand me? But what
Mhm.
they get Belle, they get Skeete, and they get Ward. And the good book was right. There's nothing new under the sun. It was the people years ago, centuries ago, who said,
Years.
"Hear Jesus, but give us Barabbas." But y'all get y'all Barabbas is no.
Yeah,
Deal
but
with them. Deal with them. Paul, I want to thank you. We have
but they
got a little
can't.
past our program time for coming and
Yes.
giving us some guidance and some insight on this Bacchanal in Bartica.
Anytime, Sharon. Anytime.
All right, Paul.
And
Thanks
thank you
very
for
much.
having me. Bye.
Folks, there it is, and we're grateful again for Paul Burnette, a resident there, born, bred, went to school. He's eat there, he's drink there, he sleep there. Bartica in his veins, Bartica in his veins. And so we want to get on the ground what is happening in Bartica. And we're happy that he stopped by to give us some context to this story. We're going to continue to follow it. So if some of y'all hope it's night 2 and okay that they can done now, think again. Sanitize, social distance, wear your mask first. Tomorrow night, in the ring, in the diaspora. See you guys. Stay safe. Hello, Bartica. Hope y'all share the live stream. Thanks, guys. Stay safe.